Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about sunscreens, the hottest topic right now in the beauty industry. Every skincare brand is launching a new sunscreen every other day, so I thought I'll just give you guys some basic insights of how to choose a sunscreen based on your preferences, lifestyle, skin type, skin concern, and the weather condition that you are living in. Now there are different aspects you need to keep in mind when you uh, choose a sunscreen for yourself, because I've seen a lot of people complain that sunscreens give them breakouts. It just made their skin more tanned and it makes them feel very sweaty and all of that. All of this is because you're not using the right kind of sunscreen. So I also have some product recommendations and also a detailed explanation of what to look for in sunscreens. So if you're interested, continue watching, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do take a moment to do that as well. Now let's just get into the video. Okay, first thing first, what are sunscreens and do we need to wear it every single day? Now there are three types of rays that is released from the sun: the UVA rays, the UVB rays, and the UVC rays. We don't talk about the UVC rays because that guy gets filtered in the ozone layer, so we need not be worried about it. But the other two rays from the sun has a lot of impact on the skin and body. Of course, being in the sun gives you energy and vitamin D and all of that, but there are other harmful things that can happen to our skin and body. Now, UVB rays typically gives you sunburn, sunspots, or hyperpigmentation, and UVA rays can get deeper into your skin, like they can reach your DNA, and that is why it causes premature aging and sometimes even severe skin diseases as well. So wearing a sunscreen is really important, and a lot of sunscreens not only protect you from UVA and UVB rays, but they also have antioxidants that can give you protection from free radicals like pollution or things that we cannot physically see but can harm our skin. So irrespective of whether you're indoors or outdoors, wearing a sunscreen is really important. It is getting a little cloudy, so there might be a little change in the lighting, so please excuse me. Now, how to read the labels of sunscreens and how to choose the right type of sunscreen for your skin type. So on the labels you'll find three things: SPF, PA, and broad spectrum. SPF basically is sun protection factor, so this determines how much of protection the sunscreen can give you from the UVB rays. Example, if I am out in the sun and if it takes 10 minutes for my skin to start burning from the UVB rays, and if I'm wearing an SPF of 50, it will take 150 minutes for my skin to start burning. That means it is giving about 140 minutes of or 150 minutes of protection from the UVB rays. Now this is a very rough calculation. I'm not an expert, but I'm just giving you a rough idea about this. This timing and calculation also depends on various other factors. For example, at what time of the day are you out? Like say if it is between 10 to 4 a.m. The sun's rays are very intense, and of course it might vary, and also it depends on the skin tone of a person. For instance, if you are pale fair skin, it might take plus or minus 10 minutes for your skin to start burning, and if you're medium olive skin, it might take plus or minus 50 minutes for your skin to start burning. And if you're from the deeper skin family, it will take plus or minus 20 minutes for your skin to start burning. So the skin sun protection depends on the melanin production in your body. So based on a lot of other factors, this calculation differs, but basically choosing an SPF of 30 at least is really important to get a good amount of protection from the sun exposure. The next thing you see on the labels of sunscreen is PA plus, PA plus plus, PA plus plus plus, and all of that. So this PA is a grading given for sunscreens that determine the protection from UVA rays. So higher the grading, higher the protection. And this grading, the PA grading, is not approved by FDA or European standards. So this is the grading you see in Asian brands like the Korean, Japanese, or Indian skincare brands. But otherwise, the rest of the world uses the term broad spectrum, which again means protection from both UVA and UVB rays. So depending upon where the product is produced, labeled, or approved, you will see either PA or broad spectrum. So for example, this sunscreen from Banana Boat has the term broad spectrum mentioned in it. I think this one is manufactured in Australia, I guess. Not very sure, but I'm just giving you an example. Like, you can either have the PA grading or the broad spectrum grading. Broad spectrum basically can give you the protection from both UVA and UVB. Now, once you know how to read the labels, you also need to know what type of sunscreen you have to choose. There are three basic types. The first one is physical or mineral sunscreen, the second one is chemical sunscreen, and the third one is hybrid sunscreen. Now, physical or mineral sunscreens have two main ingredients in them. First one is a zinc oxide and second is titanium dioxide. Now, sunscreens can have either one of them or a combination of both, but between these two, zinc oxide can give you better sun protection. Physical sunscreen, just like the name suggests, it is going to physically sit on your skin and reflect back the UV rays, and it starts working immediately after application, and it is much more visible, thicker in consistency, and has this white cast. This is a lot more recommended for people who are going to be out in the sun for a very long time. And the biggest con of these sunscreen is, of course, it is going to have a white cast. Now, brands have formulated these sunscreens today in a way that it does not leave heavy white cast, but still, a lot of physical or mineral sunscreens do have slight bit of white cast in them, and it might be thicker in consistency. So if you're wearing it under the makeup, you might feel a little gray and all of that. But these sunscreens are suitable for sensitive skin people. The second type of sunscreen is chemical sunscreen, and these sunscreens have three main ingredients in them: avobenzone, oxybenzone, and octinoxate. Now, avobenzone blocks UVA rays, and octinoxate blocks UVB rays, and oxybenzone blocks both UVA and UVB rays. There are a lot of other chemical filters used in chemical sunscreens, but these three are the most important ones. Now, these sunscreens are going to absorb the UV rays and then release them in the form of heat. They are more thinner in consistency, they don't leave a white cast, they sit really well under the makeup, but they are not suitable for sensitive skin people. There are a lot of debates on some of the chemical filters used in sunscreen. So if you are an acne prone skin, or if you are a sensitive skin person, you need to make sure you're choosing the right kind of chemical filters in your sunscreen. Now, because both of these types have a lot of pros and cons, companies or brands then came up with something called as hybrid sunscreen, which are best of both of these worlds. They are thinner in consistency, they don't have any white cast, they blend really well, they get absorbed into the skin, they sit really well under the makeup, and they have both chemical filters and mineral filters as well. So a lot of hybrid sunscreens is what we see in the market today, because it is more easier for brands to just have an hybrid sunscreen that suits for all skin type. But still, if you are a sensitive skin person, even if you're choosing a hybrid sunscreen, make sure to read the ingredients list, because if something is breaking you out, you need to be aware so that you don't buy a similar ingredient based product in the future. So always read the ingredients to be sure what is causing you the breakouts or the tanning and all of that. Now that we have seen what sunscreens are, or how to read the labels and the types of sunscreen, now let's look into the most important questions that we usually ask when it comes to sunscreen. The first one is how to choose the right kind of sunscreen for me. Now, this basically depends on your personal preference, your lifestyle, the environment you're living in, your skin type, skin concern, and all of that. For instance, if you're an oily skin person, of course you need a thinner consistency of sunscreen. But you can be a sensitive skin person, and like I said, some of the chemical filters used in sunscreens are not suitable for sensitive skin people. And particularly, oxybenzone has been on debate for a very long time. A lot of countries have banned oxybenzone in usage. So if at all you feel like you shouldn't be risking yourself using any chemical filters like that, maybe you can go for hybrid sunscreens. And if you're someone who does a lot of outdoor activities, then of course physical or mineral sunscreen is a very good option for you. So choose it according to your lifestyle and preferences. And if you're going to be at home all the time, and how do you choose sunscreen is, again, is there a lot of natural sunlight coming in? Are you sitting next to a window working or cooking near a window where
the sun rays fall directly on you. So based on all of these factors, you need to choose the SPF, PA, and the type of sunscreen you want to use in your routine.
Next question is, how much of sunscreen should I be applying on my face? Now,
Because the internet came up with this two-finger rule, everybody started doing it. But technically, you have to apply quarter teaspoon of sunscreen on your face, which is somewhere close to 1.23 grams. So the consistency of the sunscreen that you are using comes into the picture. For instance, if you're using something as liquidy as the Dot and Key one, two finger is not really enough. You need 3 or 4 fingers of sunscreen. So make sure you're using the right amount, because that is also really important. And this is one of the reasons why I don't support makeup products that has skincare infusion. For instance, foundation with SPF 15 or and all of that. Like, it does not do anything to your face at all, because you will be applying just 1 or 2 pumps of foundation, whereas you need quarter teaspoon of sunscreen on your face to get the protection. So which means you have to use at least 10 or 11 pumps of foundation, which of course is not logical. So always have a separate sunscreen in your routine. Do not rely upon the makeup products that has skincare benefits and all of that. Now the next most complicated question is, do I need to reapply sunscreen, or how often should I be reapplying sunscreen? This definitely comes down to your lifestyle, the weather conditions that you live in, your personal preference, and all of that. For instance, if you are out in the sun between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., when it is really hot and when the UV index is high as well. You can find the UV index on your weather app that is there on all of our phones. So if the UV index is high, of course you need to reapply sunscreen religiously every 2 hours. Like, typically you need to be applying sunscreen every 2 hours, but it's just your preference, I must say, because there are a lot of ways you can reapply sunscreen. There are sunscreen sticks, sunscreen spray, and then powders and compact powders with SPF and all of that. If you ask me, I'm not a big fan of the sunscreen powder that was released by Dermaco. Like, you're going to be using very little of it. Even if you say to yourself like something is better than nothing, that something is not going to do anything at all. And sunscreen sticks, I don't have a very big opinion on them, because I have acne prone skin, I have sensitive skin, and I don't know if I can just apply something on makeup, dirt, oil, my acne, and then just wipe it off with tissue, and then think that it's going to be good for the next usage. Like, it is going to get contaminated. There's going to be a lot of dirt and oil on my face, and I'm just rubbing it, and I cannot just wipe it all with a tissue paper. So I'm not a very big fan of sunscreen sticks. Sprays, yes, to an extent I can recommend it to you guys, but make sure you're not spraying it anywhere near your eyes. Who are exposed to direct sunlight, then of course you need to apply and reapply sunscreen religiously to get that protection that we are all aiming for. Coming to my recommendations of sunscreens, I'm not going to get deep into the ingredients list. Of course, you can go to the brand's website and check it for yourself. But if you're normal to dry skin person, I have 2 options for you guys. The first one is Aqualogica Glow Plus Dewy Sunscreen. This has papaya and vitamin C in it. Now these days a lot of sunscreens come with a supporting ingredient as well. Like, this one has papaya and vitamin C, and this one from Dot and Key has vitamin C and E in it. So these supporting ingredients are also very good. Like, based on your skin concern, you can choose one. Now both of these are very thin in consistency. They just get absorbed really well. There's no white cast or whatsoever, and it has this dewy effect. So that is one of the reasons why I recommend this only to normal to dry skin people. Of course, these sunscreens suit all skin types, but if you are an oily skin person and if you don't want that glow, you can maybe try one of these 2 sunscreens. The first one is from Dr. Shess. This is a ceramide and vitamin C sunscreen. This has SPF 50 PA triple plus. I think both of these also have SPF 50 and PA triple plus. And this one is from Earth Rhythm. This is an ultra defense SPF 50. This has PA of 4 plus. I love both of these sunscreen because I'm an oily skin person. The Aqualogica one and the Dot and Key one are a lot more on the dubious side, so I wear it when I'm at home, when I don't have to wear makeup. But underneath my makeup, these two are the ones that I really love using. And if you are an acne prone sensitive skin person, I have two options from Requil. The first one is their oxybenzone and OMS free sunscreen. So if you have used sunscreens in the past and felt like it gave you breakouts or made your skin more darker and all of that, you can definitely give this one a try. It has SPF of 50 and PA triple plus. And if you don't like any such glowy looking sunscreens at all, then definitely try this one. This is their ultra matte dry touch sunscreen gel. This of course suits all skin types, but um, as an oily skin person, I absolutely love this. This has SPF of 50 and PA of 4 plus. Two underrated sunscreens that I've used and I absolutely love is the Derma Essentia sunscreen gel. This has SPF 50 and again PA triple plus, and the Cause IQ serum sunscreen. This has SPF of 50 and PA of 4 plus. Both of these are very underrated. I've not seen a lot of people talk about it, but these are absolutely good. Both of these suit every skin type. This is of course a serum sunscreen, so it is a lot more thinner in consistency but does not have any white cast, and it just sits so well underneath the makeup. And this does not even give you that too much of glow like the Aqualogica or the Dot and Key one. The sunscreens that I'm currently using, but there are a lot of other good sunscreens in the market as well. There are a lot of new launches, so make sure you're choosing the right amount of SPF, PA grading, and the right type of sunscreen that suits your skin type and skin concern. And make sure you're reapplying it enough of times if you're out in the sun. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you all liked it. And if you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Until then.